I brought a piece of backpack equipment, and Vance has got a handout. You don't need to take notes because he'll hand out this information to you. This equipment is a Maruyama 1550DX. You know, it's a two-cycle engine. That motor will generate, it goes to a turbine. The turbine will generate 120 mile an hour wind off of that turbine. And we can effectively cover a 70-foot swath with that piece of equipment. Now, it takes a pretty stout dude to handle this piece of equipment. You can put it on your back and walk down through the pasture. With a bag of spike in there, it weighs 75 pounds. It's not for the faint of heart. We have guys that have worked off of tractors, off of Caterpillars, off of ATVs. You know, the key thing is to get your swath width correct. Now, would you try to take on 5,000 acres with that machine? Probably not. But if you've got 50 or 100 acres and it's odd-shaped, and if you got the patience to do so and can lay out the lines, it's a very effective way of getting it done, okay? All right, just real quickly, you know, there's the formula. You know, there's no reason to bore you with that, but, you know, the normal walking speed is 2 to 3 miles per hour. And if you're applying it at 2 miles per hour, you can treat about 17 acres per hour. That ain't bad. Acres per minute is 0.28, and you're only putting out a pound per minute. Now, the way we calibrate it, my girlfriend makes these up for me, right? I got to show this off. What we do off that flexible hose, we turn the thing on, get it at the right RPM, and we catch the material here. We run it for a minute, catch and weigh until we with the difference in RPMs and the size of the orifices that allows it to drop through until we get our target rate per acre. And then the other thing that you got to do is figure out how to figure out your walking speed. The walking speed or even driving speed formula is on here as well. Now, just for comparison, I went ahead and put the aerial on there. You know, we said at 3 miles per hour, you could do 25 acres in an hour. Well, with our ag aircraft, our fixed wing, if we can fly at 140 miles per hour, which is what a lot of our airplanes will do, we can treat 1,000 acres per hour. Or, what does that work out to? About 17 acres per minute. Very, very efficient. Now, what we've been doing over the last several years, not everybody has the right equipment. So the aircraft companies that have the equipment, that have the certification on the aircraft, they're from Yuma or Buckeye. We have to ferry in that airplane. And what we have to do, and what we've done with the NRCS and the BLM, is wait till we have enough acreage down here to justify bringing an airplane down. Everybody gets the benefit of the ferry time back and forth plus the application cost if you have more acres, so to become efficient, okay?
What's the cost on a piece of equipment like that, the Maruyama?
That machine is at around $800. $800, and we're going to get into the cost of some more cost issues here. Now, what was mentioned earlier, we target shallow-rooted brush, and when we start killing, or when that brush starts going down, you're releasing space, moisture, and nutrients. And what that amounts to is that you're leaving that space open for something else to replace it. Mother Nature is going to put a cover back on there. And we can accelerate that cover by looking at a number of factors. First of all, over the years, we've been able to see from a 3x to a 10x increase in herbaceous production. Now, some of this stuff is not cheap to use, but when you start getting 7 to 10x increase in production, you can start seeing some of the long-term values of getting into this kind of a program. I need to talk to you about the site potential importance. Mike Hayhurst is here, and I remember 6-7 years ago when he first started doing work over in his place. He had whitethorn and catclaw, crap you couldn't walk through it. You know, you had to almost crawl on your hands and knees to find a remnant bush muley or drop seed out there, but it was there. You know, and you're going to see some of this stuff that was done 6 or 7 years ago and what has transformed in that period of time. But what we generally look for is we got at least 10% perennial grass on the site, at least 10%. If you have that, we know the seed bank is going to help us fill in more readily. We get into some issues down in this part of the world too with Lehman lovegrass. If there's a significant Lehman lovegrass population in the pasture, very likely you're going to turn it into Lehman lovegrass, unless you got some management scheme that will keep the natives in place there. We want to stay on slopes less than 30%. The clay content has to be less than 25%. Organic matter is less than 3%, and I assure you that is not a problem in Arizona, and probably not in northern Mexico either. We don't do application on frozen soils, crusted snow, or saturated soils. Nobody's asked it yet, but we're just going to go ahead and put it out front. And these are numbers today. You know, with fuel cost and everything changing, we have to adjust to the market conditions. But 3/4 pound AI is about $35 an acre. That's what you're going to be looking at today. Everything you're going to see is 3/4 pound AI, plus the cost of application. Now, this last go around, the airplane came down here and did it for about $12 an acre. So a total cost of about $47. It's not cheap, but it's very effective. Go ahead.
En hectáreas el costo es 125 más o menos por cada hectárea, incluyendo el costo del avión.
I don't know what he said, but it sounded important. We also do a lot of work in over on the far east kind of the state, or side of the state, and it's creosote tar bush. And when you get in that situation, if it's straight creosote tar bush, as long as you got site potential that can grow the grass, that's going on for about $23 an acre plus the cost of application. Okay? This is really important. And one more emphasis. If you're interested in doing this, we'll do it for you. We know we can kill the brush. We pick the sites where you get the biggest bang for your buck. And we know we can do that. But it is the follow-up management that will extend the lifespan of that project. You've got to rotate the cows. You've got to give it deferment during the growing season. You've got to do some things to let things happen, okay? Questions? What do I got for questions?
What is AI?
Active ingredient.
Active ingredients, she asked about AI. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
How does it work on things like soya?
She asked about cholla. It has no effect on cholla whatsoever. Up in the Great Basin, sagebrush is a target, and there's a preferred browse up there, which is bitterbrush. Anybody ever heard of that? It's kind of unique. It's deep-rooted. We can go peel out the shallow-rooted brush and leave the good stuff. Sometimes it works out that way. No effect on the succulents at all. Sometimes on yucca we'll see temporary yellowing, but it comes back. It comes back. One of the items that the land department and the game department is a little sensitive of is Ocotillo, and it knocks the crap out of Ocotillo. So if you have a strong Ocotillo site, which usually indicates a shallow soil, we try to stay off of that. One of the other things that we do on these plans is we will leave out areas, the bottoms, it's got the good stuff in it. We'll leave those bottoms out at their prescription, and they will corridors to wildlife, to water, or wildlife corridors, and so on and so forth. If you can design it, if you can give me a shape file, I can fly it, okay? Yes, sir.
Question, will it kill fillery?
The question was, will it kill fillery? Kind of a chance encounter. If that pellet hit right on that collar of it, it's probably going to ding it up. Fillery is a unique plant because it germinates so deep. It's got that twisted on that drives it into the soil. I don't think you're going to see much effect on fillery. It'd be very, very minimal. Not only does it let the grass come through, but all the herbaceous, the broadleaf stuff. That's the reason the game department loves this product, because we get that herbaceous mix out there. It's not just grass, it gives us a herbaceous mix. What else? Questions?
Desert broom?
Desert broom, deep rooted, won't kill it. Yes, ma'am.
So you're saying this will kill broadleaves, mustards, and broadleaves? No.
Now, you got to remember, a pellet per square foot. You're talking about a very fibrous little root system. It's probably not going to take out those kind of herbaceous weeds. Anything else?
So it has no effect on any of your annual grasses at all?
No, nothing on grasses at all.
Probably doesn't work on saltpeter.
Pardon me?
Cedar?
It does. It does. But we're talking about a different rate. We're talking about a different rate. Now, we get into some complications when we start talking riparian stuff. So let's don't get too carried away. Do I need Jerry up here to translate everything I said in the last 30 minutes? Or did I make you understand? Okay? Okay, thank you very much. And I will be on site as we get out there in case you have any additional questions, okay? All right, Jerry.
Thank you a lot, Barry. Good job. Secret about Barry Wallace. I've known him for about 30 years. Keisha, he used to be a Soil Conservation Service before. He was the area range guard out of Flagstaff. The area one was strong and all that kind of stuff. So he's very familiar with NRCS, and I think that's why we work well together. Les voy a dar un resumen básico de lo que dijo Barry porque tiene mucho detalle. El resumen consiste de que este es el producto, Spike 20P. Es un producto que lo usamos bastante aquí en estas áreas para controlar todo el matorral. Los puntos que hizo Barry es que es muy efectivo con las plantas que tienen las raíces